Miss Sebastian. Today we're going to look at equations in two variables. Our first question. A cell phone user's bill shows a breakdown of charges for the month. There is a monthly fee of $25 and the customer pays $5 for each hour of talking. What are the variables in this situation? Drag the answer into the box to match each variable. So the independent variable is the one where it's not going to matter about the other variable. Okay, so I know that there's a monthly fee of $25. That's no matter what. Then there's $5 for each hour of talking. And then when you add those together, we get the bill amount. Okay, so our independent variable is our X or our H here. So that's going to be the number of hours the customer talked. That's our independent variable. The dependent depends on the number of hours that the person talked. So that total monthly bill amount is dependent on the number of hours they talked. Donald is saving money to buy a present for his dad. He earns $9 an hour washing cars. What are the variables in this situation? So he earns $9 an hour. So if he worked, let's say 10 hours, you'd say 9 times 10 would give you 90. So the independent variable is your X value, okay, or your H here. That would be the number of hours that he worked. And the money is dependent on how many hours that he worked. Okay, most of the time money will always be the dependent variable. Okay, the table shows the relationship between x and y. Which equation represents the relationship between x and y? So the first thing I'm going to do is look at the change in y. So I see that it goes up 5 and the x goes up 1. 5 to 10, that's a difference of 5. 1 to 2, that's a difference of 1. 10 to 15, and 15 to 20, that's all adding 5. 2 to 3 is 1. 3 to 4 is 1. Okay, so what I see here is that for every 5, it's moving to the right 1. So this is called something called slope. So the slope here is 5. Then we've got something called the y-intercept. That's where our line begins as it goes through, and our y is 0. Sorry, our x is 0, and on here, our y-intercept is 0. So you'll see something like this. Y equals mx plus b. So y and x always stay the same. M is your slope, and b is your y-intercept. So we'll talk more about that later. But what you can see here, if you don't want to look at this big table and try to figure out the slope and things like that, what you can do is you can not look at all these differences. You could take 2 points and you could say, okay, I'm going to plug it in here. I'm going to test it by substitution. And I could say 5 minus x equals y. So I've got my first point is 0, 0. So does 0 equal 5 minus 0? No. So I know that's not my answer. Okay, so I can erase that and I could try again. Y equals 5x. So I can try 0, 0. 5 times 0 is 0. So that's true, but I don't always want to go with my first answer. I want to check one more time. So I'm going to pick another point. Let's go ahead and pick this one. So my x is 2 and my y is 10. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 does equal 10, so that is our answer. And it's the same thing we got here because that plus 0 I don't always mention. Remember, it's just understood. Okay, on this problem, we aren't shown a y-intercept, so we're not shown where x is 0, what is y. So I can look at the difference here and say it's going up by 2 and it's going up by 1. So I know my slope is going to be 2x plus something, we don't know what. So I could kind of go towards, maybe this one. Okay, but on this, I would suggest instead of doing that, I would suggest just plugging them in. And you always want to try at least 2 points. So you've got y equals 2x, and I'm going to plug in the first point. So we've got 4 equals 2 times 2. So I get 4 equals 4, and that is true. But I don't want to decide if that's my answer until I try it with another point. So I'm going to try, let's do the last one. 12 equals 2 times 6. So 2 times 6 is 12, and 12 does equal 12. So I can confirm that that is my answer. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, I'm going to look and I'm just going to start plugging it in. So my first one says y equals 30 minus x. So I'm going to plug in my first point there. 6 equals 30 minus 2. 30 minus 2 is 28. 6 does not equal 28, so it can't be that first option. I'm going to try my second one. Y equals 6 times x. I'm going to plug in that first ordered pair again. 6 equals 6 times 2. 12 equals 6. Nope, can't be that one either. Let's try the third one. Y equals 3x. So I'm going to plug in my first ordered pair again. 6 equals 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And 6 does equal 6. That may be my answer, but I want to try it with another ordered pair. So I'm going to pick the bottom one. So 30 equals 3 times 10. And you could pick any of those ordered pairs. I just picked the bottom one, just because. So 30 equals 3 times 10 is 30. So since both of those checked out, that is my answer. I could plug it into the last one. See, here is a good example. Let's look at the last one. Okay, y equals 4 plus x. I can plug that first ordered pair in. 6 equals 4 plus 2. And 6 does equal 6. Do you see how that could be confusing here? Because that could be my answer there. Let's try it with another one. You could pick the second one or the last one or any in between. Let's just try the second one. Okay, we've got 12 equals 4 plus our x value of 4. And the second one does not check out. That's why you always want to test 2 points. Because if I had just tested one, I would have been confused of which one of these two was my answer. Okay, are the data described Discrete or continuous. So the shower uses 4 gallons of water per minute. Okay? So this could be a half a minute. It could be 3.5 minutes. It could be any number of minutes while that shower is in use. So I would say this is continuous data. Or is that should be is the data described discrete or continuous? An apple tree grows 26 apples per year. Is that discrete or continuous? Well, I would say that's continuous because it could grow for a half a year. It could grow for a year and a half. It could grow for 27 years. So I would say that that is continuous. The dance school has 21 students per class. So that means if it was one class, it would have 21 students. Two classes would be 42 students. Three classes would be 63. There can't be half a class or anything like that. So because these are set values that they could be, it's going to be discrete. Okay, so on this, I'm going to pick a point. I'm going to look at this last one up here. And the way I find the coordinates is I'm going to start from the origin, which is that 0 down in the left-hand corner, and I'm going to count to the right or left until I get to the same line that my point's on. So I'm going to go over to 3, so that's my x value is 3, and then go up to the point, and I went up 6 to get to that point. Okay, now I'm going to do the same to the next one, and I'm not doing it on the line so you guys can see that a little bit better, but I go over 2 and up 4. Okay, you don't have to go in the same order that I am. I'm just going right to left so I can show you something that's going to happen here in just a second. Okay, so this third point, I go 0 to 1, so my x is 1, and I go up 2 points. Now my last point is right here in the corner. Okay, I didn't have to go right or left any. I stayed at 0. And I didn't have to go up or down any. I stayed at 0. So those are my 4 ordered pairs, and you could have listed them any way in this table as long as they're all there. So hopefully that will help on that one. Okay, number 10, same thing. We're going to look at these. And decide. I see my first point is, let me do purple. Okay, I'm not going to go left any. So I'm actually starting at 0. So my x value is 0. And my y value, I went up 1. Okay, now I'm going to look at my next point. I'm going to go to the right 2 and up 2. The next point, I'm going to go to the right 4 and go up 3. Then my last one, I'm going to go to the right 6 and up 4. The table shows the relationship between x and y. Which equation represents the data from the table? So 0, 0, if I plug that in here, these are all a number times x or a number times 0 is going to always equal 0. So that's not going to be a good point to test. So I'm going to do 1 and 6. So here's my ordered pair. That's what it's going to look like. I'm going to start plugging it in. So if I plug in 1, does 18 equal 6? No. So that first one can't be my answer. Let's try the second one. y equals 2x. So I'm going to plug in 6 and 1. 6 equals 2 times 1, that's 2. Nope, can't be that one. Let's try our third one. Y equals 6x. So I plug in 6 and I plug in 1. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 does equal 6, so that one may be our answer. Remember, we always have to try 2 points. So let's try that last point. So I'm going to plug in 3 and 18. 6 times 3 is 18. So that is our answer. Okay, you could have also done that last option, y equals 4x. If I had plugged in 1, 6, I would have gotten 6 equals 4, and that's not a true statement. So that one couldn't have been our option either. The table shows the relationship between x and y. Which equation represents the data? So 0, 0 is not a good point here. I can look at what is happening from 2 to get to 8. I know I had to multiply 4 to get there, and 4 times 4 would give me 16, and 6 times 4 would give me 24, so I could plug them all in, but this one looks like it could be my answer. Let's just test it just to make sure. Y equals 4x. If I plug in my first one, that's 2, 8, so 4 times 2 is 8. 8 does equal 8, but we always need to try on 2 separate points. So let's do that 624. So y equals, 6, 24. 4 times 6 is 24. 24 does equal 24. So that is our answer. So sometimes you can look for those patterns right here to see what happens. Like each one of those is multiplied by 4 to get the next number. And that a lot of times will give you clues to your answer. Okay, which equation represents the data from the graph? So I see here that I went over 1, up 4. So I have a point of 1, 4. Then I have a point, I go over 2 and up 8. I see a pattern here. I had to multiply what by 1 to get 4? That was 4. And I also multiplied 2 by 4 to get 8. So I think this one's my answer, but I'm going to double check it. So if I plug these in, 4 equals 4 times 1. 4 equals 4, that's right. Now I'm going to do it with my 2 and my 8. 8 does equal 8. So yes, that is my answer. Okay, the graph shows the relationship. Which equation represents the data from the graph? So I go over to the right one and up 2. Then I go over 2 and up 4. Same thing, 3, 6, 4, 8, and 5, 10. If you notice, all of the y values are 2 times the x values. So 2 times any of my x's will give me my y's. So that would be our answer. So if you need additional help on this, the video links are on the board.